Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another Overwatch video. I hope you're enjoying this series because I am really enjoying these videos. I really enjoy making them, and I really enjoy giving tips and tricks for you from an average player's perspective. But I really enjoyed capturing gameplay for this. While I was doing this and while I was trying to get gameplay, Hanzo became probably one of my top players, one of my top heroes to use. Granted, he is definitely one of the most difficult to use. As far as snipers go, Widowmaker is definitely, I'd say probably easier, and I think it's because, the rifle that she uses, it's hit scan, there's no travel time for the projectiles, whereas Hanzo, you kind of have to lead your target, you need to be able to predict them, and we'll get into that more later. But he's definitely a tough character to use, but he's definitely a fan favorite. We all saw Avengers, right? Everyone knows Hawkeye is the best Avenger. I'm just messing with you guys. But, for real, this character's fun to use, and he's a favorite, and I was racking my brain trying to figure out why every team I play on, someone wants to play Hanzo, or there's always multiple Hanzos. And I think I figured it out, because the better I got with him, the more of those one-shot kills I got, the more I fell in love with him. Being able to just dome someone with a bow and arrow is both rewarding and insulting to the other player, because, man, you're using such a primitive weapon in a futuristic shooter, you're going to use a bow and arrow to secure kills. So, let's get into some tips and tricks. Alright guys, so the three main things you want to be aware of whenever you're playing Hanzo is, number one, verticality, number two, your ultimate, so knowing when to use it, and then number three, the art of arcing your shots. Let's talk verticality for a moment. So what I mean by that is using Hanzo's passive ability, which is his ability to climb walls. So for me, if you walk up to a wall, jump, and hold A, he will scale the wall for a short distance. Using this ability to gain ground on your target is going to help you tremendously, okay? So you can see here, first thing I did whenever we set up defense was find a high enough spot for me to camp out, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm waiting, and once they get a little bit past me and they're still focusing on the rest of my team trying to stop the payload, I'm able to sort of annoy them a little bit. But the difference between annoying them like Tracer and annoying them like Hanzo is that the annoying part is going to come when you start getting kills, okay? Because that's going to force them back to the spawn area. Like right here, I'm trying to target this Mercy because she has the ability to heal the rest and also has the ability to revive, which is very frustrating. So once I use my ultimate, I'm able to clear them off a little bit, take Mercy out, who's priority 1, and then I'm able to get a few more hits and secure another kill. So this is where I'm able to turn around, take the Junkrat, but no, also he was at a disadvantage. He was fighting uphill to me, so whenever I was able to fire, I didn't have to compensate as much for that bullet travel. For that projectile travel. So, just like here, grabbed a health pack and decided to gain some verticality. Once they all left and kind of forgot about me, I was able to come up and again get kind of lucky. But at the same time, I want you guys to pay attention to how I'm using my reticle. This is the default reticle, and I absolutely recommend that this be one of the ones you keep default. The reason I say that is because those dots there on screen, they're meant to help you. They're meant to help you compensate for the arcing of the projectiles, okay? So right here, what we're going to see is I'm going to do the exact same thing. I cleared the payload, and I'm able to gain some verticality, and literally just wait for them to come back. So now is as good a time as ever to talk about Hanzo's ultimate. Okay, like I said, it is definitely a defensive ultimate, and before I started capturing this gameplay, whenever I was first starting out to play with Hanzo, I sort of didn't understand that concept. So what I do, and what I recommend you guys do, is not necessarily hold on to the ultimate, but because his ultimate, it's really powerful, and it can do some devastating DPS to an area, I recommend just really thinking about the placement, okay? What you saw there was my opportunity to try to get them off the payload, so I took it. Because the good thing about his ultimate is that it charges fairly quickly. Okay, especially if you're landing shots. That's just gonna cause you to skyrocket your charge rate for your ultimate. So literally that's what I do, is as I'm focusing, yeah, I might not be getting headshots, I might not be getting these critical hits, but what I am doing is that for every hit I'm charging my ultimate, because I need to have that kind of in my back pocket in case of an emergency situation. But like I said, it's one of those ones you don't really want to waste, okay? Because it is so effective at taking out groups. It is kind of slow, so there is a way for you to kind of counter and get out the way once you hear him say, basically, whatever the hell he says. I don't really know. I don't speak that Asian, but because I speak American, so you're able to kind of avoid it. Just like in this clip, you can hear Hanzo start to launch it, so I immediately know I need to get up. And once I'm here, I can wait.
A few moments later.
Alright, and we're back, and I'm looking for my next victim. So, just so happens that I'm in a good spot, and I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot to use my ultimate, because after Zarya kind of fails with hers, we almost have a team wipe, so they're all going to start spawning in around the same time. So I'm holding on to my ultimate, knowing that at some point they're coming up that street. And that is exactly where I fire it, and I'm able to pick up a 3-piece. Now, granted, there was definitely some luck in there, but knowing your map is going to help secure some of those kills. The last thing I want to talk about is arcing your shots. There's quite a few kind of complicated concepts when it comes to this, but at the same time, it shouldn't intimidate you, okay? Hanzo's shots, like I said, they do take time to get to their destination, but good news, the hitbox is very generous, and I mean very generous, okay? So use that to your advantage. It's awesome just lobbing shots down, but at the same time, you can see from this gameplay that I'm strafing, okay? I'm constantly strafing. I'm never standing in the same spot firing. You want to be able to move left to right. You want to be able to sort of be a harder target to hit, but at the same time, while you're strafing, if you can match their movement properly, you can land a hit, or maybe even land a kill. So, like I said before, use that reticle to your advantage. Be prepared to maybe have to angle up a little higher. Use that second dot. Very seldom do I ever have to use the third dot. But the second dot from the center is going to help you out a lot. And guys, with this, embarrassing defeat, it's still going to bring us to the end of the video. And I had to leave this really awesome play of the game in because this skin is super overpowered. And the reason I say that, and I was reading Reddit, Hanzo's ultimate, he announces before he uses it. With this skin, it's much quieter at the beginning, so it's harder for people to avoid it. So, there you go. Fun fact. If you liked the video, guys, don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe, and I will catch you later. Peace.